Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to our channel. I am incredibly excited and truly honored to have you join us today for a deep dive into the life of one of history's most revered figures, Salahuddin Ayyubi. His name echoes across centuries, embodying courage, piety, and an astonishing chivalry that captivated both allies and enemies. Today, we are not exploring the myths, but the real story of Salahuddin Ayyubi, the man who united nations, confronted empires, and restored the sanctity of Al-Quds, Jerusalem. This narrative will reveal profound lessons in leadership, resilience, and faith. As we unravel this epic tale using clear, descriptive English, you will naturally boost your language skills, making your English as compelling as his history. Prepare for a story of faith, warfare, and enduring virtue. Our journey begins not in the deserts of war, but in the heart of a scholarly and pious family. Salahuddin was born Yusuf ibn Ayyub in Tikrit, Iraq, around 1137 CE, into a Kurdish military family known for its devotion to justice and Sunni Islam. His early years were spent not on battlefields, but in Damascus, a center of Islamic knowledge. Under the tutelage of his uncle, Shirkuh, and the brilliant statesman Nur-ad-Din Zengi, Salahuddin was steeped in the values of justice, jihad, struggle, both internal and external, and the urgent necessity of unifying the fractured Muslim world against the Crusader states established in the Levant. He was not initially a soldier by choice, but a scholar. However, the political and military imperative of his time pulled him towards the sword. His true apprenticeship began when he was sent to Egypt under Nur-ad-Din's command to stabilize the weak Fatimid Caliphate. This mission proved pivotal as Salahuddin rapidly rose through the ranks due to his sharp intellect, organizational genius, and unwavering moral character. He did not seek power for its own sake. Rather, he viewed his rising authority as a divine mandate to fulfill a sacred duty, the liberation of the Holy Lands. Following the death of his uncle, and eventually the death of his mentor Nur-ad-Din Zengi, Salahuddin found himself the undisputed Sultan of Egypt. His ambition, however, transcended political control. It was a spiritual one. His first great challenge was not the Crusaders, but the political disunity plaguing the Muslim territories. He spent years meticulously consolidating power, often through diplomacy rather than bloodshed, bringing Egypt, Syria, Mesopotamia, and parts of Yemen under one unified banner. His goal was always to encircle the Crusader strongholds, but he knew unity was the prerequisite for victory. Throughout this process, he exemplified the Islamic ideal of justice. When he took over a city, he ensured its stability, protected the rights of Christians and Jews under his rule, and famously sought scholarly advice before military action. This period of consolidation, spanning over a decade, underscores a core lesson. True strength is built on internal harmony and principled governance, not just brute force. He understood that a just government, regardless of the ruler's personal faith, commands respect and loyalty. The defining moment of his life, the event that consecrated his legacy, was the Battle of Hattin in 1187. For years, Salahuddin maintained truces, but repeated Crusader breaches, particularly the vicious raids by Reynald de Chatillon on Muslim trade caravans and pilgrim routes, forced his hand. He led his unified forces against the main Crusader army near the horns of Hattin. It was a scorching summer day, and Salahuddin strategically cut off the enemy's access to water. The battle was a decisive, overwhelming victory for the Muslims, shattering the primary power of the Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem. The victory was swift and complete. Following the battle, Salahuddin showed remarkable restraint. While Reynald, who had been proven a war criminal, was executed, the vast majority of captured Crusader nobles were treated with great respect. This act of selective severity and general clemency sent a powerful message. He was a principled commander, not a bloodthirsty conqueror. The climax of his epic came shortly after the liberation of Al-Quds, Jerusalem, in 1187. After besieging the holy city, Salahuddin negotiated its surrender rather than subjecting it to the bloody massacre that the Crusaders had inflicted on its inhabitants 88 years earlier. His entry into Al-Quds was a breathtaking demonstration of Islamic chivalry. He allowed all Christian residents and captured soldiers to leave safely, purchasing the freedom of those who could not afford ransom. The great Islamic scholar and traveler Ibn Jubair recorded the astonished reactions of people who witnessed this generosity. The contrast between Salahuddin's mercy and the Crusaders' previous brutality was stark and became legendary, solidifying his image as the embodiment of al-adl, justice. He immediately ordered the cleansing and restoration of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, restoring them as places of Muslim worship, but ensured Christian holy sites remained accessible and protected. This epical victory triggered the Third Crusade, bringing the most formidable monarchs of Europe, including Richard the Lionheart of England, Philip II of France, and Frederick Barbarossa, to the Levant. The subsequent years were marked by relentless warfare and famous confrontations, most notably the Siege of Acre and the Battle of Arsuf. It is during this period that Salahuddin's character truly shines. His personal exchanges with King Richard were legendary, defined by a mutual respect born out of shared military genius and deep personal honor. On one famous occasion, when Richard was ill, Salahuddin sent his own personal physician, fresh fruit and snow, to help cool his fever, a gesture utterly unthinkable in European warfare of the time. This conduct cemented his status in both Eastern and Western histories as the standard-bearer of chivalry, teaching us that respect for an enemy's humanity, even in the heat of war, is the highest form of character. Though the Third Crusade ultimately failed to recapture Jerusalem, the peace treaty agreed upon it in 1192 allowed Christians to safely visit the Holy Sepulchre and secured a truce, a testament to Salahuddin's pragmatic leadership. Salahuddin's final legacy, however, is sealed not by his conquests, but by his piety and humility in his final days. He passed away shortly after the truce in Damascus in 1193 and was buried there. The depth of his piety was revealed in his final estate. Upon his death, his treasury contained only a few coins, not enough to pay for his burial. He had given away the vast wealth of his empire in tzedakah, charity, prioritizing the needs of his people and the purity of his soul over material accumulation. His life is a profound lesson in prioritizing the hereafter over this world, demonstrating that true power and lasting glory are achieved through righteousness, unity, and service. His story remains a vital source of inspiration, teaching us that faith, justice, and compassion are the true foundations of enduring leadership. If you found this detailed and powerful history of Salahuddin Ayyubi valuable and inspiring, and you are dedicated to learning more about the great figures and pivotal moments of history, please take a moment right now to hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of our future high-value content. Furthermore, I sincerely encourage you to join our community discussion and leave a comment below, sharing which specific quality of Salahuddin, his justice, his compassion, or his perseverance you find most necessary for leaders today. Thank you for investing your precious time and focus with us. Go out there and embody the noble character of history's greatest heroes.